right, the first 2 dinners, let me just take a scroll back in my meal archive. Literally everything I've ever cooked for them, the menu, and my feedback. Really helps when I'm stuck on what to cook on a given day. And then I also like to write tweaks, like I should have done this, more of that, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, for trial number 1, I made some strip steaks. I whole roasted bronzino. I made linguine with little neck clams, zucchini carpaccio, braised leeks, and for dessert, I did a strawberry galette. And yes, that is a lot of food. It was the 4 of them, but I think they really wanted to see what my skill set looked like and just try a bunch of different foods. And they were like, why not? Let's just make a bunch of stuff. We'll eat the leftovers. Obviously, I was a nervous freaking wreck on the first trial, but I got here, I think around like 2 p.m. for a 6 p.m. dinner, which I know is ridiculously early, but I was like, I'm giving myself all the time in the world to prep for this. I remember starting off making the strawberry galette, and one of their girls, my little kitchen helper, immediately came into the kitchen and was like, I want to help you make the galette. So I was like, okay, like, love the vibes. This is super cute. But it got a little bit interesting when I accidentally used the side of the oven. I'll show you. This is the La Cornue oven stove range that they have, and this side of the oven is a broiler and that side is an oven. Didn't know that at the time, so I preheated the broiler and started baking my galette in the broiler. About like 7 minutes in, I was like, why does it smell like something's burning? And I opened up the oven and the crust was completely brown, like starting to burn. So that was really stressful. I was like, this is off to a horrible start. I put it in the correct oven and like covered the crust in tin foil because I didn't have time to make like another crust. I only brought like 1 crust for the galette. And yeah, tried to bake her the best I could. But the rest of the dinner honestly went well. They really liked everything. I still remember serving it all, and I was starting to clean up in the kitchen, and the girls were saying, oh my God, the steak is so good. The steak is so good. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because, you know, kids are not gonna, they're gonna be fully honest. They're not gonna sugarcoat anything. And when it did come time to serve the galette, I like cut into it, and I was like, the pastry like in the middle, like the dough, the crust, I was like, it is not fully cooked. I was like, it's not fully cooked. But I didn't feel like there was anything I could do. Like it wasn't so bad that it was not servable, but it definitely was not like perfect, close to perfect by any stretch of the meaning of perfect. So I served it anyway and just was like, we'll see what they say. And they didn't honestly say anything afterwards. I was like, I can't like not call this out. I was like, honestly, it wasn't my best effort. Like I used the broiler by accident, not knowing that it was just a broiler and not an oven. So the dough didn't fully cook. I probably shouldn't have called it out, but I was like, in my head, I was like, this is so obvious that like I need to explain what happened. Anyways, that was the story of the first time that I cooked for them. Then that was during the week, and then I came back on the weekend and they had a few more people over for dinner. I think it was like an 8-person dinner, and I went like classic Italian vibe. I did Caesar salad, summer caprese, a risotto, seared scallops, chicken saltimbocca, which is like chicken with prosciutto and mozzarella, and that went pretty well. I also made my favorite brown butter chocolate chip cookies, and the girls and I made like ice cream cookie sandwiches, which was a hit. But yeah, crazy to think back to that. Literally like retelling this, I can like feel my heart beating faster and like my blood pressure racing because like it was obviously just so stressful. But yeah, crazy to think back on it. Literally just telling the story, I can feel my like heart rate elevating. I'm like getting stressed again.